Hello, I'm Mark from Red Book Productions, and in this video I'm going to be talking about product and explainer videos and answering some frequently asked questions about them. So the first question is, what's the difference between a product video and explainer video? So if you've got a product, it's a product video. If it's an explainer video, it's sort of explaining a service. That's pretty much it. So it's pretty much the same concept. I would say it's sort of got a similar template when I'd be scripting it, but I just sort of group these together because they're quite similar. So a product would be for a product, an explainer would be for a service. The next question is, how do you keep explainer videos engaging and not boring? The scripting is key here, I think, because I think you need to grab attention at the start, make it a bit humorous. So it depends on who you've got on camera there as well. Have they got a bit of personality about them? And then keep them engaged as it goes on. Keep it quite light, but keep it truthful and keep it honest and keep it true to what your product or service is. There's some really good examples of these, and I think some good examples of what I've made as well that I've put on this page. But I've got a certain system of writing this where you grab attention, I'll go and grab my notes. I've got a certain system on this where you grab attention, look at what the problem is, magnify the problem, look at what the worst case scenario is. That's a good place for some humour in there. Agree on what the solution is, talk about what the product is that you're offering, how that relates to the solution. Look at testimonials and social proofs of what people said about your product or your service, and then a call to action, how they go about doing the next thing. How do they buy the product? How do they get engaged in the service? But I think if you're sort of going through that, it's quick, it's easy, it's humorous, it's keeping it light, it will work really, really well. The next question is, how do you handle scripting and storyboarding for a product video? So like I just said there, with that template, I think that's a really good way of scripting it. Storyboarding, it would vary. Some storyboards I would go into a lot of detail, and some I would sort of have a shot list of what I want to achieve. But it's just about planning, and I say this with all sorts of different types of video. The more planning you do, the quicker and easier the shoot's going to be, the happier everyone will be afterwards, the quicker the editing will be, and everyone will be more pleased afterwards if you put the work in up front to make sure the planning is done properly. So the more planning you do up front, the easier it's going to be, the easier the whole process is going to be. The last question on here is, what length works best for explainer videos? So I would say anything between 90 seconds and 2 minutes, otherwise people will still start to switch off. If you're in that magic number there, you're grabbing attention at the start and then you're keeping them there for the rest of the video, that's a really good way of keeping them in. Anything longer than that, it's going to turn into a bit of a webinar or something like that. But if it's quick, simple, humorous, to the point, it's going to work really, really well as an explainer video. So that's it for this video about explainer videos. If you've got any other questions, feel free to ask, and I'll speak to you soon.